This poor woman's name is Veda, and she seems to have realized that today is not a good day for her. Today, as usual, as soon as she woke up, she went into the bathroom and started brushing her teeth, but falls asleep with the toothbrush in her mouth. Her little sister, Amelia, calls her name and wakes her up. Veda gets ready fast, makes breakfast, and soon her boyfriend Nick, who is also in her class, comes to get her. On the way to school, they listen to their favorite music, have fun together, and make a stop so Nick can get his favorite coffee. He also gets Veda her favorite ice cream. When they finally arrive at school, they go to class and the day starts like normal. Then, Veda gets a text from Amelia asking her to call immediately. Veda asks her teacher if she can go to the bathroom. When she gets there, she calls Amelia and hears that she sounds afraid. Surprised, Veda asks why Amelia is scared, and Amelia shares that she feels more grown up now because she just got her first period. Veda comforts her and explains that what she's feeling is normal and that all girls experience it. She says she will take her out later that night and gives her tips on how to handle the situation. After hanging up the phone, Veda goes deeper into the bathroom and meets her classmate, Maya, a well-known dancer and performer. Maya is one of Veda's role models. Happy, Veda quickly texts Amelia to say she just met the famous star, Maya. From far away, she sees Maya putting on makeup, and without thinking twice, Veda tells her she doesn't need it because she's already pretty. A little while later, they both hear loud gunshots. A group with guns has come into the school and has shot many students. Scared, Veda and Maya hurry into a bathroom stall, lock the door, and hide, shaking as they hear gunfire in the school. At that moment, Veda takes out her phone and quickly texts someone. Then, she and Maya hold their breath when they hear the bathroom door slowly open. A few seconds later, they see their classmate Matt come in, trying to hide too. He is very scared and crying a lot because his brother was just killed by the attackers. Matt crawls under the bathroom stall to hide with the girls, and they are scared when they see how sad and scared he is. Fortunately, the police come quickly and catch the gang. From that point on, Veda's life is totally different. She isolates herself, staying in her room a lot, hardly talking to anyone, and feeling very sad. One day, her mom, Patricia, her dad, Carlos, and her little sister Amelia get her to come sit with them at the table. That's when Amelia shows her the list of students who died in the attack. As Veda looks at the list, she sees her friends' names, and it really affects her. Feeling very sad, she tries to hide her emotions and puts on a smile to make Patricia believe she is fine. After getting up from the table, the rest of the family gets up too. But Veda says she's okay and tells them she just wants to take a shower. She takes a long time in the bathroom, and when she's finished, she goes back to her room to try to sleep. Her phone suddenly vibrates with a message from Instagram. When she looks, she's surprised to find a message from Maya. Veda answers her, making her feel better, and they start chatting and learning more about each other. Maya says she is scared because she is at home by herself. Her parents are in Japan for work. She asks Veda to come over if she wants, and Veda says she will before be ending the conversation to relax. The next morning, Veda wakes up suddenly, takes a quick shower, and gets ready. Patricia drives her to the park where Nick is waiting for her. While sitting together, Nick shares with Veda how upset he is about the deaths of their classmates. He admits that he keeps wondering why he survived while others didn't. Nick understands that God must have saved his life for a purpose. He believes that one day he will stand up against crime and fight for what is right by enforcing the law. After that talk, Veda goes home and sees Amelia and Patricia watching the news about the bad event. She picks up her phone, goes to Maya's Instagram page, and looks at her performance videos. Then, she tells Patricia that she is going to Nick's house, but instead, she chooses to go to Maya's house. Maya is the only one who experienced the same terrible thing and can really understand how she feels. When she gets there, Maya is already waiting by the door, as if she knew she would come. She greets Veda kindly and lets her inside. Veda is really impressed by how the place looks and thinks Maya decorated it. Maya says that her parents, who are both artists, picked everything in the house. She says she is usually by herself because her parents are always away for their jobs. Veda tells Maya that she really likes her dance videos and that they inspire her to believe she can improve her life. Suddenly, Veda gets a message from Nick saying that Matt's brother's funeral is tomorrow. She turns off her phone immediately because she doesn't want to answer Patricia's repeated calls. Even though Patricia is just trying to see if she's okay, Veda doesn't want to be disturbed. She asks Maya if she can go to the funeral with her, and Maya says yes. Then, Veda surprises her by asking a weird question. She asks if Maya has been having bad dreams since the attack, but Maya surprises her by admitting that she can't sleep at all. The next day, Veda and Maya go to Matt's brother's funeral. After the service, Matt comes over to them and really thanks them for coming. The next day, Patricia chooses to bring in a therapist. Dr. Anna wants to help her daughter deal with the pain. In their first meeting, Anna asks Veda what she usually does when she feels stressed, especially after what happened. Veda says that sometimes she can sleep for 14 hours in a row, but other times she spends a long time watching show. Anna looks at her carefully and says she feels that Veda is keeping something secret. She promises Veda that anything she shares will be kept just between them. Veda finally talks to Anna, saying that she's not okay and hasn't been able to cope since the shooting. She admits that she keeps her feelings to herself around Patricia and Marcus so they don't get concerned about her. Anna takes a book out of her bag that has exercises and questions about feelings. She asks Veda to answer them honestly so they can understand how she is really feeling. Later, Veda falls onto the couch while Amelia sits next to her, recording videos on her phone. Suddenly, Veda gets a message from Matt asking to hang out. She visits him, and the way they look at each other speaks volumes. They both feel the same hurt. Veda tries to help him feel better. She stays with him and gives him support while he is sad about his brother's death. Later that evening, she goes home, and Patricia talks about the idea of going back to school again. Feeling upset, Veda goes to her room and calls Maya on video, sharing her worries. She says she is very scared to go back to school because she keeps thinking about what happened. Maya says her parents chose for her to learn at home until she feels better. Veda feels frustrated and sad because her mom keeps putting too much pressure on her. That night, she makes herself go to sleep so she can deal with school the next day. But when she returns, her face shows her fear clearly. She feels nervous with every step she takes. And she is so anxious that she won't even go into the bathroom because she's scared that the bad thing might happen again. When Veda gets home, she pretends like everything is okay and that she's feeling better, even though that's not true. The next morning, Veda follows her usual routine by brushing her teeth, putting on makeup, and trying to look different. Amelia knocks on the door and asks what Veda is doing, but Veda, feeling stressed, replies sharply. Amelia, who is very innocent, goes up to her one last time and asks why she is wearing makeup. Veda ignores her and tells her to tell Patricia that she doesn't want to go to school today. Veda chooses to go to Maya's house, and together they drink and relax, feeling carefree. For a little while, they laugh more freely, and soon, with a burst of fun energy, they sneak out at night and begin dancing in the street. The atmosphere is filled with excitement. Their happiness is infectious, and for the first time in a while, Veda feels truly alive again. Since she can't fully handle things, she ends up staying at Maya's house to keep her family from seeing how she's doing. The next morning, when she gets home, she sees her whole family nervously waiting by the door. The way they look at her makes her anxious, so in a rush, Veda makes up a story and says she was with Nick. But the story falls apart fast when they show that Nick had been calling all night, anxious to find her. Feeling shy and overwhelmed, Veda quietly says she's really tired and rushes to her room. Later, she goes to see Nick to say sorry for leaving. She tells him she was with Maya because she was not feeling good. But Nick, tired from dealing with his own sadness, speaks up this time. He tells her directly that everyone was deeply affected by the tragedy, but most people have been able to move on and take charge of their lives again. He says he has allowed her some time and space, but now he can't take it anymore. He doesn't know how much more he can take of being around her self-destructive behavior. His words hurt a lot. Veda is shocked and upset, so she reacts angrily, and they end their relationship in a fight. Dizzy, Veda looks at Matt. She talks about her frustrations with Nick, But Matt tries to soothe her by explaining that Nick acted that way because he's worried about her. He says that even after his brother died, he needed to find a way to keep going. Otherwise, his sadness would have taken over his life. He still remembers the fun and the close connection they all had together. Veda understands that she's been putting her own feelings onto him and says sorry for bringing up his brother so much. She tells him he can talk to her about himself anytime he wants. Suddenly, Veda moves closer to Matt, looking for comfort, but he stays still. Feeling ashamed and sad, Veda quickly leaves the car, with tears running down her cheeks as she walks away. When Maya messages her, she doesn't reply and stays in her room. The next day, Carlos chooses to help in his own way. He takes Veda to a calm place near the ocean. There, he tells her to yell as loud as she can, to let out all her anger, sadness, and fear. The release is powerful and freeing, and for the first time in weeks, Veda feels better. Feeling a little hopeful, she goes to see Maya. But when she arrives, nobody opens the door. Veda feels scared and quietly goes out the back door. Inside, she sees a glass with some drink left in it on the counter. Her heart is beating fast. She hurries to the sauna and finds Maya passed out. Feeling scared, Veda shakes her to wake her up and takes her to bed. When Maya finally wakes up, she realizes she can't keep living this way, always stuck in the sadness of what happened. She admits that she was feeling very overwhelmed and almost ready to give up. But instead of giving up, Maya chooses to take action. Tomorrow, she will return to her dance classes. It's the only way she can feel like she has a reason to be. Veda, trying not to cry, promises to always support her. Feeling happy, Maya smiles for the first time in a long time. To remember the moment, they take a picture together. Later, Veda goes to her second meeting with Dr. While looking through her notes, Anna sees that Veda has repeatedly written the word fear. She softly asks her when she felt the most scared. Veda says that it wasn't only about the shooting. It felt like being back at school and seeing that everyone else, including Nick, the boy she liked, was moving on with their lives and thinking about what would come next. At the same time, she felt stuck and abandoned. Veda starts to cry as she talks about how much it hurt to lose Nick and how much she loved him. She feels it's really unfair that a group of strangers with guns could ruin so many lives. For the first time, she shares everything, crying while Anna listens quietly. After letting go of her pain, Veda decides what to do next. She doesn't want to feel overwhelmed by it anymore. She goes home, says sorry to her mom, and tells her she didn't mean to make her worry so much. She was struggling with something inside and didn't know how to talk about it. At the end, Veda visits Maya at her dance class. She sends her a message saying she's waiting outside so they can go out and get some fresh air. Just the two of them, Maya smiles and says she's almost done. For a brief moment, there is hope. But then Veda checks her phone again and sees the news. Another school shooting happened. This time, 12 more students have died. Her expression changes to sadness. The camera focuses on her face as she feels overwhelmed by everything. The cycle has happened again, and it looks like this time she might not get better. The movie ends here. Please, my family, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.